morning, welcome to another episode of the Profit Point Show, where we talk about investment and business, and today will not be an exception. We started with the stock market segment where we talk about the gainers and the losers, top 5 though, as of close of yesterday, trading on the Nigerian Stock Exchange. Then go over to some results that also came during the week. Then, of course, we talk a bit about the First Bank shakeup, the management shakeup. And then after that, we go to the sectorial segment where we talk about manufacturing. Case in point, shoe manufacturing and how you can actually get into the business. All of this after the break. We'll be right back. Stay with us. Thank you. This is still the Profit Point Show, and this segment is the stock market segment. I have in the studio Ambrose Omodium. Ambrose is an investment analyst from Investor Limited. Ambrose, how are you?
I'm very fine.
Thanks for coming on board as usual.
Yes.
So we have a lot to talk about today, but let's start off with the gainers and the losers. Top 5 losers as of the end of closing at the Nigerian Stock Exchange yesterday were Lesako losing 9.62%, Linkage Assurance follows suit, Caverton, Sterling Bank, and Regency Insurance. Okay, briefly, 3 insurance companies leading the gainers chart. Off the top of my head, I'm thinking maybe it's just the activity of the traders, because I don't see anything fundamental in the insurance sector.
Right? No. The insurance stocks, being a low cap stocks, they're attractive. I tell you that when the news that said 100,000 equity will change price of the stock. People can easily buy this stock that are selling at 50 kobo, 20 kobo, 30 kobo in there. And not only that, the set also they are improving in terms of payouts to investors. That's what we're seeing also in the performance of those numbers we are seeing. But for market for the last two days has been on the downtrend. That the first trading day of the month of May. I know that second quarter is the lead period for positioning for the year. But seeing market rising for 2 days for me is not anything investors should panic about, but it's part of the market. Because I told them earlier that we expect market was delayed or a missed performance in the month of May. Because most of the companies, where the big companies has May as their markdown date. When I mean the price adjustment for their dividend. And when they adjust that price, it's going to affect the all share index, their price there. For that, when you see this movement, look at sectors. And I've been telling investors that this is the time for you not to look at the all share index alone. Look at sectoral performance, which sector that has potential. Personally, I'm seeing that this year, we were seeing things unfold in the economy and the recovery, and also the rising yield in the market. I see that the financial sector is where investors should look at, because if you look at Nigerian history, that is a sector that pays dividends consistently. That means if you want to really edge against inflation, as well as insurance is almost at 18.17, I think if you know how to invest wisely in all those banking stocks that you can trade, at the same time wait for dividend, then at the end of the day you are making above 20-25%, when that is above inflation. For any investment in any way, let it be fixed income, they are giving you 8% for 2 years, 7% for 2 years, below 18%, you are just, for me, it's not attractive. No matter how risk adverse you are, how you want to say you are, your money is little value, and that's why. And I told one of my client that go and read the history of people that go to work in the world, both internationally. There are those that know important of what, where there is consumption, where there is value. They know how to invest in that. Not only people that what I want to run for risk. No, is where can I make money? Look at sectors that are doing well, things that consumption in that sector. I feel that sector activities will reflect on the companies there. That's where you should put your money.
But we're not talking about insurance sector anyway.
No, insurance sector for me is just the price attraction that is low, and that is why but financial is also part of the financial sector.
Oh no, when you how do you really insurance sector pay can't match inflation rate? 18%?
No. Like for example now, stock like Liquid Assurance, they'll give you 2 for 5 bonus, and they give you 5 kobo dividend, and they are selling around 70 kobo, 86 kobo. That is more than even 9% cheap. Look at the additional share they are giving.
It's not up to 10%.
Additional share they are giving you more than that. You will make more than.
It's still up to inflation rate.
It's more than inflation rate.
Inflation is 18.5.
Yes, you are giving a bonus of 1 for 5. We stop that.
But you know that a lot of times, by the time this bonus settles down,
I agree with you.
What's the price? What price will do?
Yes.
Okay. Even if the shares are not so worth, are worth less, not worth less though.
Well, I believe the market for me is time to look for sectorial, sectors and position in them. But sort of potential that price will go up this year. People should not panic. All this we're saying is just there's an opportunity for you to buy low.
Okay.
Yeah.
Top losers, okay. Stanbic IBTC top losers chart, full 10% down, went from 15 naira to 45 naira. Then CWG also followed suit, losing 9.61%. Then Unilever losing 8.21%. Then Codville losing 8%, and Intercontinental Brew losing 7%. Okay, so these, well, it's been a while I saw CWG here, but looking at Stanbic, Unilever, Intercontinental Brew, Stanbic topping the losers chart. I don't think I've ever seen them on this.
No, then if you are seeing it today, you should not be surprised. No, I tell investors that whether there's a bear market or a bull market, when you perform no good, market to appreciate might be only for 2 days or a day for performing well. But when also you have really done badly in terms of performance, market also treats you the way. So the first quarter result from Stanbic was below expectation, and especially the market will react that way. But the beauty is that what is holding that stock, if you are to build that stock in the market, the rate will drop, but because of the shareholding structure in IBTC, it's tight, because about 65 to 60% is in the foreign investor, and also the share issue is too small, about 10 billion on the issue. One other bank has like 38, 32, having 10 million is manageable. For that, that's why the price is, because for market to drop 10% flat on it, that means people are really saying, let's just exit and look for another place where we can get good return.
But what's running down?
That's why if you look at their top line and bottom line, it's something a decline for that alone. Investor, but when you look at also consider where the economy is coming, it's understandable, but we believe that this year they pass to do, especially from the second quarter, because you can see that the interest, the treasury bill yield or interest or rate has moved from almost 1.5 to now about almost 9.75. In the space of just 5 months.
Yeah.
Let's assume that the first quarter they did well, but now between this now to the end of this quarter, we think that the banks also benefit from it because their interest income will be up for the banking sector, and also that way we were surprised because they also into form of other business. It's a holding company, but then to put that kind of number, they just show that they are not performing loan on the book was high. That's what I just saw there. But for me, the other banks that are also talking about the results have shown that there's potential in that sector.
Banking sector is one very funny sector. There was a year that we had Zenith, GTB, First Bank, topping as in when you talk about the ICAP in banking sector, maybe 1 naira, 2 naira different. Then of course, GTB Zenith just left First Bank behind them.
They should.
Behind them, like,
they should.
Like way behind them. Now Stanbic is like the highest, most expensive banking stock.
Like I said that in the Nigeria market today, the only company that have not shared construction that is selling
Stanbic.
The initial construction, they cut their share and their price was down. When that happened, but the good thing that they're able to sustain that price at that level compared to other companies like Unity Bank, and many of them that are doing construction below the price expected. That means investors in that companies have lost everything, even the ones because for Stanbic, you're able to create value for investors. That's why people are still looking that way till now. But the first quarter was not good, not impressive at all. That's why the price is more. For me, it's also a great opportunity for those that are understand how to trade that. When price comes down, it's an opportunity for you to buy. Just watch your support level. It's a very key, important thing. If I, as a trader, know how to use your resistance and your support. We're able to get there, know how to do what to do in a Stanbic. Well, for me, anything below 40 naira for Stanbic is an attractive price to enter.
Anything below 40, anything is 45 naira.
Yeah, nothing below. Around 38, 36.
Okay. So let's just leave the Guinness and losers chart for now because we have a lot of things to talk about. Let's go over to the reports, the earnings result that came during the week. NPF Microfinance Bank Q1 2021 result. Okay. They grew earnings by 24.16% and grew profit after tax by 66.79%. That's a fantastic result for Q1.
Yes.
We still saw one of the results, their full year, which was not so, was good too. Okay. That's true.
If you look at the number that emanated from police member, this is only active microfinance listed on it that is active. And also because they have a lot of things they are doing, so-called that police pension is under them because police have their own pension from other. For me, they are sitting on my goal and the activity to kind of reflect on their number. But the good thing is that for us to go into earnings, analysis this morning, I want to let investors know that as an investor, for you to take earnings and consider it to be effective or to be good for you to invest, you must look at the quality of that earnings, the value and the growth. It's very important. Like you just said, look at some important, I call them financial ratios. that will help you to know whether this company is doing well or not, because every financial have to compare with the previous year. Just like when we send a child to school, at the end of the quarter, the term, you bring the report card, you assess the child. So also this company, every 3 months, they get the investor, this is how we have done, you to know them. But there are some key important things that you should look at for in such a result. One, like an investor will have our own standard already, which everybody knows that. For you, the top line must be above 15% plus the top line. When I mean top line, it might be your gross earning, your sales, your turnover, your revenue. But then it also go down to the bottom line. The bottom line is the earnings. This earnings is what we call, after you have paid on all your expenses, including the tax and all the stuff, now we call profit after tax. That profit after tax will also maintain that the trend that it must be 15% and above.
Higher than previous year.
Yes, what I mean, it must be on above, that means higher than the previous year. And also, go to the word that is very important. See, I'm giving this one so that as an investor, what you look at when you are just looking at earnings, not just looking at the number, you need to know, are they making constant growth? You look at it on a yearly basis, is it trending up on a quarterly basis? Now, we're seeing the first quarter result of this company. That means now you have already what to start. You want to compare this quarter to quarter. But that is trending up. But this key ratio is where I stop at PAT, which is point after tax. Then the next one there is profit margin. It's very important to know how efficient the company is. You know, like for example now, to get the profit margin, just dividing your profit after tax by turnover. In that turnover, if you are making #1 turnover, what do you retain as profit? For example, now in the banking industry, it is clear that GTV has become more efficient in terms of profit margin. Now, for example, see GTV having a 38 profit margin, 38%. That means in every #1, they are retaining about 38 kobo as profit as earnings. And to show that they are very efficient. They talk like a Zenith Bank 33. There's something like, that is how you should know that because if a company makes sales and out of the day they spend the money off what they're going to give you at the end of the day. You as an investor are looking at what will come to me at the end of the day. That is that. On that one, look at the quick ratio. Look at the company assets and liability. When the quick ratio is anything above 1, good. But when it is below 1, that means the company cannot even meet their short-term liabilities. You have to be very careful. Now, these are the things you look at just in the number to make it easier for you. Then the one that is more important again, what is return on equity. Every investor wants to know what will come to me for investing. Or money was invested as shareholders, how are they using it? Then dividing the profit with what will the shareholders fund. That will give you return on equity. Then the most important thing again that people look away from is operating cash flow. Because when there is no cash flow, you can't sustain your earnings, which is your profit after tax. That means your cash flow has to be positive and also looking up. But when your cash flow is operating cash flow is looking down and your earnings looking up, you can't sustain that earning. But when the two are looking in this direction up, that means the earnings we are posting for us as investor public, know that you can sustain this your earnings. These are the things that these 5 things that investors should look at whenever they are looking at numbers. For me, this company we just mentioned now, I've really maintained all we just said. You said it's up by almost 17%, the top line, while the bottom line is about almost 66% up.
Yes.
For that, these are what they look at. Also, if you look at the profit margin is also above 10%, which I just said. For me, it's a good one to consider. And this company also pay you dividend. Today is the qualification day for the dividend for police bank finance, and they're paying 20 kobo, which is more than 10% of their price.
How much is the stock though?
Just close at yesterday at 186 kobo. That yesterday, and they're paying 20 kobo. That is more than 10% each. Then if your capital appreciation for this, you're even more than we say that any investment you are making 12%. 15% in capital appreciation. You sell off plus your dividend, that is almost 22. You have inflation. That is just the only capital market that you can hedge against inflation, investing in the right company.
Some stocks, investing. Okay. Thank you, Ambrose, for the analysis. My mind went to this bank, Unity Bank. How can you have positive gross earning and negative profit after tax? Like, I don't understand, but shareholders fund.
It's complicated.
Today is a good day. You're not talking about Unity Bank today. Okay, Access Bank. Access Bank gross earning for Q1, that's January to March, first quarter 2021. 3 months. They grew their gross earning by 5.9% and grew the profit after tax by 28.4%. So going by the analysis you gave, the gross earning is not so impressive, but the profit after tax is fine.
Yeah, it's a good move for Access. And also, if you look at this company called Access, I would say they are building capacity.
They're just swallowing.
They are building capacity. And when you're building capacity, you are bound to spend money, at the end of the day to reflect. And that is why the bank is also so competitive conservative in terms of paying a dividend. See, they pay dividend as if they are, according to the Bible, say, cargo.
Because they want to use the money to swallow another bank.
Exactly. That means they are using that money to create value for you as an investor. At the end of the day, after this acquisition, because if you look at the 5 years rolling plan of Access Bank, they want to be among the top bank in Nigeria. Not only in Nigeria, they want to be among the top 5 in Africa. That means that they know where they are going. For you to make that means you need to acquire more banks for you to be able to get to where they are going.
Are they not top 3 already in Nigeria?
Yeah, but they want to become that means they want to be number 1.
Zenith and GT.
They want to be number 1.
All right.
And also, if you look at their performance, they are always getting there. If you look at last year, performance of Access Bank, they swallowed the industry in terms of gross earnings, up only for last year. But this year, they also swallowed the sector with also their gross earnings. They are the first now to put number in that sector for now. They have hit about 222 billion for Q1. If you compare like that of Zenith Bank, around the 157. GTB is lower. What's it called? UBA is lower. But the good thing is that look at their profit after tax. Last year, that's the first time Access crossed 100 billion after tax for 2020, and that was the recession year, and the economic COVID-19. This year, they just started on a good note. Look at their first quarter, they crossed almost 52 billion. Then what does that mean? At the end of the year, let's just plus or minus, we're looking around 150. Well, let's say plus or minus, or even above. They tell you that the bank is coming up well, and investor will see value for me if you are thinking long and medium and long in this kind of stuff. Yes, you might not get good dividend from them, but in terms of capital acquisition, for me, investors should look away of assets. And also, when they acquire all this bank, it's going to impact on their bottom line.
Okay, that's profit after tax. All right, let's go to Zenith. Zenith Q1, first quarter 2021. The gross earnings was actually down, negative
marginally.
It was down. Whatever you used to qualify it. I know you like Zenith, but the thing is, the gross earning was negative 5.70, and the profit after tax was up by 5.02. So, what do you have to say to this? Without being partial.
No, I'll go to Zenith, but there's one thing the bank have established. Every quarter, every year, they grow their earnings. When I mean earnings, I'm talking about your profit after tax on yearly basis and quarterly basis, which they maintain this year. That's why it was just marginal, 5.02. But growing their earnings from 50.5 billion to 53 billion. And also, they remain the leader in the industry in terms of profit after tax. They do that. Their profitability level is still.
Is this the highest profit after tax? For Q1?
Yeah, for Q1.
53 billion.
53 billion. Or the asset is like 52. They are still leading that. For me, I see a lot of, especially if you are dividend paying, investor, or you are a pensioner or income, this bank is where you can look for consistent dividend. You can also look at the payout, and also at the end of the day, if a bank is selling below 30 naira and it gave you 3 naira full year last year, I don't see Zenith Bank cutting the dividend this year. That means it's selling around 22, 21 naira. For me, it's selling at a discount, and even now their book value alone is about 35 naira. For me, that means the stock is giving you a high margin of safety.
I know you like Zenith, so I know they can't be wrong with you. I will even. It's okay, Abris. Zenith is fantastic.
No. It's just facts.
It's facts.
It's figure out.
Okay. Because I know if it was GTV, you have something else to say. But it's okay. That's fine.
No.
MTN Nigeria Q1 result 2021. MTN grew revenue by 17.06%. They actually made 382.32 billion just 3 months. Revenue, and profit of tax went up by 42.52. Now we're comparing January to March of 2021 against January to March of 2020. That's what we mean by they grew up. So this is huge. I was asking you that which company on the exchange has this kind of balance sheet? And you said Dangote Cement.
Dangote, yeah. No, Dangote last year put about above 1 trillion.
The full year now. If MTN continues this way, and they're not able to make 3 point something, that's like 1.4 trillion.
That's why they are high cap stocks. But the good thing that for MTN, this is the first time MTN got listed on the exchange. They are bringing a number that beats market expectation. I will tell you, even the Airtel, they will always be releasing a missed number. Marginal decline, marginal all for severely listed. But this is the first number that is coming from MTN in 2021 that shows that yes, the actual business of what? Telecom. You can see that since after during the COVID-19 and after, the demand for data has been on the uprise. For me, we see this reflecting on their number. For you to see this kind of number at the beginning of the year, for me, it's a good one. Yeah, people will say that first quarter alone is not enough. First quarter will give you an insight what is expected in the company, especially when the economy is recovering like this. There are some sectors that are going to benefit for terms of owning the economy. For me, MTN is a stock. If you are in MTN, for me, I would say it's part of defensive stock. You don't hold it because seeing this kind of number, even though they are marking down, they marked down yesterday, they adjusted the price for dividends of 5 naira 90 kobo yesterday. Still gain that same yesterday again. Marginally, it tells you that there are some people seeing potential in the MTN. Seeing this kind of number, it tells you that at the end of the year, we're expecting something like that, 12 naira, 14 naira, any per share, and they're going to pay you 10 naira, which is also good. For me, I see that MTN, and also look at the sector where it is. And for me, it's a sector that there is prospect for it because of everywhere now we're all going digital and school are online, everything online for that. That sector has business already. For me, investors like they should also keep calm.
Okay.
Only that their payout is still low compared to their price.
Yeah, we compensate with capital appreciation.
Exactly.
But all right. Over to a Greek sector, Como oil. Every time I see this, forgive me, I just love this stock. Because that is the stock that performs on the market, outside the market.
Yeah.
So, Okomo Oil grew their revenue by 79.73%, quarter on quarter, 2021 against 2020. So they grew from 6.99 billion to 12.55 billion just in 3 months.
Yeah.
And their profit after tax went up as high as 159.9%. Why won't I smile when I see this kind of results?
Okay.
And they paid 7 naira last year.
Dividend is encouraging.
I mean, okay, tell me the bad you want to say here.
No, actually, the number is okay. That also it has crossed 100 naira price again, which is good. But the good news is that you can see that companies that are in sectors where there is less competition, or where their services or goods are in high demand.
And they are not plenty, and people are always looking for their
you can expect such number. And also, even with the threat of insecurity here and there, a lot of their farm, their workers were one day moving from the farm by all these bandits and all that. But still, you can see the number that is said. That means if we're having relative peace in Nigeria, this agricultural sector is where people can make good money. That means if government always looking the work, they need to double their strategy in terms of security. That sector will even create employment for people, but because of fear, even that's why our inflation is also looking up, because even the harvest time, planting time, fear will not allow people to go to farm. And I think Nigeria this year, we should just pray that God should help us. The way people are not going to farm to plant, at the end, towards the end of the year, September, what will be buying? That means this inflation is likely to make this uprising. I believe that government should by this time take strategies. How can we bring this challenge of insecurity and let things work? That will be a long way, because the sector can see the number that coming. These few sectors that represent the number that came from Okomu, one that came from Presco, one that came from livestock. They are different from the market. Tell you that there's something wrong with that. That means government also, because I will tell you that if all these companies that are corporate Nigerians are performing like this, those in government, they are not from outside Nigeria, they are still the same Nigerians. Let's put the right people in the right place to bring out this kind of result. If during, bad economy in 2020, the number that came from corporate Nigeria, we are looking up what an economy is still struggling. Then also we are started now on a good note for 2021. All the earnings, most of them beat expectation. Let's do that. We are starting on a good note. Then we want them to carry this kind of spirit to our government. Let the government work in different states. Let's stop my God. What are these guys doing? It's not the same Nigeria. If you look at what we call, economic risk, it's coming everybody, but still in that economic risk, people are still making money.
Yeah, true.
I think the government should consult, and that's why I think it's beyond the military men. Let's consult and see what can we solve this problem. I know a lot of Nigeria that has been to share. Yeah, many, but we can't be just only with the military men, the police. No, we can go with, how can we even the social solution, everything, so that this insecurity will come down. See, Nigeria will overnight come out for recession and become the first in Africa that will be before. Now, we're like a baby in Africa then.
Don't worry. God will help us. Before at the point when they declared 7 naira, how much was the stock then?
Around 93 naira.
Okay. All right. So even the dividend yield is less than 10%.
Yeah.
But Okomo Oil is
capital appreciation and stability, also have defensive stock.
Yeah.
You can also with the company with this kind of number, the price won't go down
easily. So this is like a new next.
Yeah, earnings on the short term, on the long run, will always support price. That's why a good investor, even at the short time, you are not seeing the earnings imparting. In the long run, that earning will part, because when you have good earnings, you can pay good dividend. You don't give what you don't have. But when the company is telling you that we are doing well, you can smile and be like, but that's why at the end of this first quarter now that we're in May, I expect a lot of portfolio restructuring or rebalancing, because people want to move where it's not doing well to where it's doing well. Just like you as an investor, you can't put your money when the company is posting negative or decline. You see a company that is posting positive and it's going up, go there. You say that's why there will be a lot of oscillation in the market or misperformance in the market because of the reshuffling at the same time, the magnate dates and preparation dates for companies for this period, and also looking at profit taking. I expect that this market was related in the month of May. Any movement now, investors should be calm.
All right.
There's no time for you to just say you are panicking for anything.
Prisco's results went almost the way of Okoma Oil. Yeah. Prisco was up by 47.48% revenue-wise, and profit after tax was up by 113.5%. I don't want us to spend so much time.
No, the numbers in that sector, I've said earlier that they are fantastic. As an investor, you should guide you what to do. As I say, when I mention sector, I know I'm a sector. There are some sector that you can go and relax. You are sure that you make money at the end of the year. And what you do, your return will be more than what inflation will look like. Even inflation, I believe that inflation this year will not come below 15. Even when we enter impasse, the month, it can, by God's grace, it won't come below 15. That means any investment that is giving you something below 50%, even let it be 5 years bond or let it be 2 years bond, 2 days bond, that's giving anything below 15, below 12. No. Why inflation already at 18.17? You need to rethink, no matter how risk adverse you are.
All right. Briefly, let's talk about First Bank shake-up. The CBN dissolved the board and brought in new sets. What do you think? Do you think this is going to have an impact on First Bank? First Bank is just trying to recover as a bank. Yeah. Now what do you have to say to that?
Yeah, actually, for me, there is no problem in First Bank. Okay. When I have a problem, in terms of investor, they should relax. CBN have done their job as regulator to stabilize everything, and the management are intact. For me, there's no cause for panicking. But it's expected that investors should know what happened. No, actually, as regulators, the shareholders or the directors are the owner of the bank. But anything you are doing personally or as a board, you need to carry your regulator along. You can do things in others' industry. But you know the sensitivity or how they put it now, the importance of banking or First Bank alone as a systematic risk for Nigeria economy. Kind of that magnitude, you need to carry your regulator along. After they announced the new MD, the regulators there were not carried along. What happened? They give them query. But I think the regulators, they are not sleeping. They have seen one or the other from all their report or the query, and they said, okay, let's resolve this this board and reappoint, which is good for me. Is for other banks in the sector to sit up. It's a lesson that CBN has power to fire and hire. That means now they can reappoint who they want to reappoint and resolve who they want. For me, others board director of other banks to sit up, because it's not only First Bank. It doesn't happen to First Bank. That's why people call me and say this Access Bank that is acquiring all the banks, and they should also be very careful. But I think they can't acquire bank without doing due diligence. That is why board of any bank now in Nigeria should also sit up, so that CBN light is shining to look at where there is anything, they can or sit you.
I'm waiting for them to shine hands on Unity Bank. But till then.
Oh, Unity Bank, yes. You are correct.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming on board. All right, this ends this stock market segment. We're going to break, and when we return, we go into shoe-making business. We'll be right back after the break. Stay with us.